You see that we have been studying, learning, and practicing what is sadhana panchakam, 5 verses. And these 5 verses, every verse has 8 steps. So 5 verses explains the stages of life. So the first 8 verses is devoted to understanding how to live and work a family and a professional and a social life. Because mostly we have to act, we have to work. So either by thought, speech, and action, so how I have to think, in what way I have to speak in my relationship, in profession, and what should be my motive inside me of performing a particular action. And if you follow those, the family, professional, and social life becomes a life of gratitude, life of creativity, life of harmony. Sergey is there. So, life of harmony. That is what we have done. Then the ninth step, we did it about satsang. Satsang, a teacher reveals and makes us understand that knowledge. And we should keep that knowledge all the time in the mind. By practice, it is realized. 20, that is very important. Knowledge is that power by which we liberate ourselves from the suffering. That is what in the last week we understood. It's very important for us to separate what is real and what is unreal. Unreal causes the suffering, anxiety, stress, duality. And if I have a clarity of what is real, then 90% of our suffering comes to an end by simply understanding, and 10% practice. Now, see the power of the knowledge. So, the last week I said this 10th step is be firmly settled in the knowledge of the real self or the supreme consciousness by the practice of discernment. Do you remember I gave the example of sand and sesame seed? We have to separate it in the intellect, milk from the water, and real from the unreal. How dare you are sitting like this? So I am a teacher and asking the student, do you see? Teacher is simply a role. Can you show me where is the teacher? There is no teacher. Same thing, we talk in the same way at our home. How dare you say? So we are addressing unreal. We are not addressing the real. We have to be mindful. We have to be wise. Even at your workplace, in our relationship. That brings us a beautiful topic about love. Huh? About love. Lara just raised one beautiful question, and I'm answering in a different way. You see, these great masters have contemplated on each topic of the human life, and it has shown the way. Now let us talk about love. There are two Sanskrit phrases that explains the love. There is a baby monkey that holds the mother. And if the baby is not strong enough, what happens? Baby falls down. It does not mean the monkey mother does not love the baby. So one love is like this. I'll open up gradually. It's a basic principle on which we have to understand. And there is another love of a cat mother to the baby kitten. From outside, from knowledge point of view, whether I hold your hand or you hold my hand doesn't make a difference. But if the baby holds the mother or the mother holds the baby, makes a big difference. Are you understanding? These are the two basic fundamentals explained by every master. If the baby mother cat holds the baby kitten, have you seen it? We have seen it. But what about the mother monkey? Ah, I have given you the birth, that's enough. Now it is your responsibility. You hold me if you want to. So I'm always in danger. There is every chance that I may fall down. The real love is when the baby mother cat is holding the baby kitten. We all are baby kittens. And who is the mother? Real self. Now compare this. So you get the right answer now. Knowledge is important to understand what is love. Knowledge is understand. Foundation of love is the right knowledge about our relationship and also the love. So there are two elements in love: knowledge and value. Right knowledge and value. So one master gives a beautiful example. You are walking on a street and you find a stone very much shining. You bring it. Oh, you said, okay, what is this? I don't know. It looks like a stone. And you take that into a goldsmith who says, oh, this stone cost $5,000. Now you have a value. What will happen? I will go to another goldsmith to find out the value, then only I can sell you. Real knowledge, the right knowledge gives you the value. So we must know both the right knowledge and the value. Then only the love enters in our life. How do you love anyone? What happens? You always see the value in it. Value and the love takes your practice to the heights. If we have knowledge and love and devotion, that is what is known as devotion in our Eastern wisdom. Now coming to the so-called love. There are three words used in Eastern wisdom. First is known as sneha. What is sneha? Samir loves his wife. Do you love your wife? Yes. She also loves her. Now I will give you the meaning of the sneha and you will understand what it is. And you will also understand your mind. That love is sneha. Sneha means, sneha, if you pronounce my name differently, that is also snoha. One is Girish, is the right name. Some people here also, Lara, they address me as Greece. I enjoy. I said, no, let us hug together. So that sneha means lubrication, lubricate, greasy. Now you understand the first type of love? Huh? Sometimes we lubricate. We become greasy towards people. That is attachment. That is not love. Are you getting it? I'm not explaining in detail. That will take a long time. But do you see that? First type of love. And we experience. So what happens? It's a greasy now, and after a few hours, we remove that grease. That is what we call love. Are you getting it? In our day to day life, some people come to you, they lubricate you. You feel attached, even in the members of the family. That causes a lot of problem. Society call it a love, but it is not love. Second is known as prem. What is prem? My love for you because I possess you. There is a sense of possessiveness, which is also known as love. Are you getting it? Find out. Be mindful when you say that you love someone. Don't be greasy. That will bring an attachment. And don't be possessive. A sense of possessiveness in relationship always causes problem in life. Are you getting it? Are you getting it? I will take you to a flight just after few moments. You will understand what is love. So did you understand the two phrases, two words we use? Sneha. Are you getting it, Lara? Sneha, lubricate. And sometime, just out subconsciously, habitually, we start lubricating others. Some of my Indian friends, sir, you are so good. You are very good. Why you are not attending the session regularly then? If I'm good, greasy, lubrication. I understand. It's okay. Thank you very much. I appreciate. Prem. Prem is, there are many meanings. The prem means love, affection, kindness that melts the heart and give rise to a sense of possessiveness. Check yourself. Whenever your mind has a sense of possessiveness, it is not you are loving. It is an intense attachment. It is an intense attachment. Now, there is another word which we say bhakti and devotion. The emotion is expressed, which is unexpressed, for what? For the love of seeking oneness with other. Seeking oneness, that I and you are essentially one, and I'm ready to give you, serve you. It is a kind of self-giving. The real love is self-giving. I give myself, I express myself. That is the real love. Real love for one and all. Can I live into that state? We need not to worry about others. I have to live into that state. The moment you live into that state, the self realization is not so far. It will definitely happen in this life. Understand? Did you understand the baby kitten and the baby monkey? So, in baby monkey, a sense of possessiveness comes. Baby kitten is totally carefree, careless. So, do I have a tremendous faith that this existence will do the best in my life at every moment? That is an attitude of a baby kitten. That awakens the love in us. First two kinds of love, you fall in love. Third kind of love, you rise in love. So, in meditation, in Eastern wisdom, we talk how to rise in love, how not to fall in love. We normally say, I fell in love. Are you getting it? No, I fell in love with you. No, I have to rise in love with you. Fall in love is moving into unconsciousness, and moving into unconsciousness brings that lubricity and the attachment and the possessiveness. I don't have the right knowledge, and then I'm bound to have a conflict. Now, see the reverse side of it. That will also help you to understand. I possess you, for example. I don't even possess my body. How can I possess you? But anyhow, take an example that I possess you. You leave me. What is going to happen? Separation. Yeah. So, what separation brings? Loneliness. Isn't it? What loneliness will bring? Anxiety, fear, duality, conflict. This is what is happening in the world. Are you getting it? I claim I love you, but I follow the first two kinds of love. I fell in love. That means attachment, possessiveness. Now you have left me. Separation, loneliness. People, when many Indian friends of mine say that, sir, do you remember India? No. Why should I remember? I'm here now, living in the present. Do I love India? Yes, I love every India also. That bhakti, that love is expressing emotion that was at rest through thought, through speech, through action. Bhakti and the devotion or the real love means love and loyal to your real self. Now, a brief story. You should remember Jerry and Lara Yajnavalkya. Yajnavalkya is the name of one of the greatest teachers of the Eastern wisdom who lived 5,000 years ago. Sorry. Do you study Asatoma Satgamaya? He has written it. Many Shanti Mantra was written by him. Now he is talking about love. We are getting a right knowledge. And then you have to contemplate and think over it to see what is love. You have to pay attention. So I told you about Yajnavalkya was the greatest master. His contribution, I would say, in the Eastern wisdom, if there are 3,000 texts, his contribution in those 3,000 texts would be not less than 50%. He had two wives. We have also the women who have five husbands. That's a different topic. So don't, so you can think in that way. We have many real stories also. Yajnavalkya had two wives, Maitreyi and Katyayani. Did you understand the third stage of life? I explained to you that you go and you contemplate. So there is a symbolic reference that you are going into the forest and you contemplate. You want to reveal that knowledge more and more while sitting into the meditation for a longer period, means days and the weeks. So Yajnavalkya was a minister in the kingdom. Yajnavalkya called both his wife. Honey, now I am going to the forest for deep meditation to reveal more knowledge. The entire wealth is now going to be divided equally between the two. Normal. If I'm a wise parent or a wise husband or whatever it is, I do justice, right? Divided. Maitreyi was quite mature. She was following the first wife. She was always following her husband and the path of meditation in the journey. But Katyayani said, who cares? Huh? God, thank you, at least he is going. Now I can spend the money the way I like. The second wife. Katyayani, first wife. The moment this Yajnavalkya said, Maitreyi says, my honey, if indeed this whole earth is full of wealth be mine, shall I be immortal? Shall I be in permanent peace through that wealth which you are offering to me? Yajnavalkya said, no. Your life will be just like that of other people who have plenty of things, who are living a luxurious life. But there is no hope for permanent peace and love. Now, question and answer session is going on. So when Yajnavalkya said, no, that is not, then Maitreyi said, what shall I do with this wealth? If it does not give me the permanent happiness, it will not awaken me the true love. I'm not interested. And she gave the entire wealth to second wife. Now comes the magic. There is a Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, means it's a greater forest Upanishad, if I literally translate. So there is a dialogue between both of them. Now the magic happens. Yajnavalkya wants to go to the forest, or Maitreyi said, no, I will also follow you. I will not leave you. I can really understand you are leaving the entire wealth. It means there is some greater wealth for which you are going to the forest. Can you explain that? Can you explain me about the love? Understand that. It may hurt you, your intellect, your mind, which has a particular belief. You may resist and react, but you have to think over the principle. What Yajnavalkya is saying. What is love? Now he explains. Magic. Hold on. It is not for the sake of the husband, my dear, that he is loved, but for one's own sake that he is loved. Are you understanding? Let me explain. He says, it is not for the sake of wife, my dear, that she is loved, but for one's own sake that she is loved. Let the magic stop. Let me give you. Do you like me? Yes. That's why you love me. If you dislike me, will you love me? Give the right answer. No. If you dislike me, so my love depends on my liking and disliking. And if that happens, that is not real love. Father says, I will all my property to the second, third person outside. The son that was in deep love for his father, that love disappears. Think of it again and again. That mindset must change in our life. It is not for the sake of the sons, my dear, that they are loved, but for one's own sake that they are loved. What that means? That means that love is within me. First, that love is filtered by the mind based on liking and disliking that causes the possessiveness and attachment and lubricity. Are you getting it? I love only for the sake of myself. What is that myself? Is the real self. That real self is a common element present in every human being. So I love you because of real self. This real self inside and that real self inside is one and the same. You drop all filtering by the mind. Whether you like it, you dislike it, you hate it, it is gone. Yajnavalkya explains it is not for the sake of I am the minister, my dear, that you love me, but for your own sake that you love me. What is own sake? I have found the love within me, and that love is unlimited, unbound, not filtered by the mind, not causing any kind of lubricity, not causing any kind of attachment. And once we follow that path of love, we include in our daily life. I'm doing a work. Am I teaching you guys? No. I'm teaching the same real self. That's why I enjoy. I go into silence just for the sake of my own real self. I don't want to be angry just for the sake of my own real self. Not for you. Are you getting it? Can the mind be very clear? The intellect is very clear. Yeah? The Sergey and Daniel, you might be thinking I'm doing a work uh, for the company I'm serving. Now change that idea. I'm doing work for myself. Let me do it perfectly for myself. Why I'm doing work for myself? Because I love myself. see the entire mind and the intellect will change. Yajnavalkya is known as one of the greatest masters of the Eastern wisdom. Many principles were taken by the Patanjali, by the Buddha, by many masters. Are you getting it? Even if 1% you get it and you contemplate why you love someone. Father says, I love you. That's why I'm angry. What kind of a love it is? Possessiveness, lubricity, greasy attitude is not love. It is fallen love. I care you because I love myself. And that myself is not the body, breath, mind, intellect, ego. It is pure consciousness. Finished. Are you getting it? Now, how can I love pure consciousness? It is unmanifest. I don't see it. But I see that pure consciousness is expressing through Sergey, through Stephen, through David, through Jerry, through Lara, through Samir, through Terry. Wave is also a water. Are you getting it? Wave is also a water. If water is one, that appears in different manifestations in life. So outside, Stephen, you say, I love you, my son, but inside, have that feeling. Have that feeling. That unexpressed feeling should be expressed through the mind in thought, speech, and action with reference to the real self will change your entire life. Are you getting it? Did you get even 1% of it? When I say I love for the sake of myself, what it means, real self is pure consciousness, then how can I love which is not seen, perceived, and I have yet to discover the real self? But after all, that real self is appearing in the name and the form of it. Jonathan, Daniel, Sergey, Stephen, Kavita, Samir, David, Jerry, Lara, Terry, isn't it? That is the manifestation. So I love myself. That is the magic. Yajnavalkya discovered and taught to us. Right knowledge. That is why last week we covered there should be a right knowledge. So once we have a right knowledge, and then we understand the value. And after knowledge and the value combines, it becomes a real love. We rise in love. We don't fall in love. Close your eyes. Let us start our journey. Eyes are closed and looking inside. Body is steady. Mind is looking inside the head or the heart in the space. Inside means you are transcending the mind. Body is steady, says one. First step. The second step is being comfortable, looking at the neck joint, feel the presence, and experience sensation being comfortable and steadiness. Move the mind on the shoulder joints, sensation being comfortable and steadiness. The mind goes to hip joint, feel the sensation being comfortable and steadiness. The entire body. Sensation being comfortable and steadiness. The third step of the first stage is being carefree. The mind likes to filter everything based on the preferences, prejudices, likes, dislikes, belief, cult, dogma, religion. I filter it out completely. I see it objectively. I separate it. That is what being carefree is. That is what I say. Thoughts, feelings, sensations are separate from you like you are standing across a road watching the traffic. And the fourth step is being casual, natural. Remember, reflect. Where is being casual? There may be millions of waves in the water, but water remains natural. And that water is existence. That existence is we are all one existence. In that state, we go for purification. The second stage, looking deep inside the belly button. One side of the mind is cheerful, body is steady. On the other side, you act on the breath. Start breathing, quick, short breath from the belly. You inhale, the belly comes out. You exhale, the belly goes in. Purification of the mind. Continue, my friend. Continue, all my friends. Continue looking deep inside, being cheerful, body is steady, and you continue the journey of quick, short breath from the belly. You expand the belly when you inhale, you contract the belly when you exhale. Continue. And stop it. We will continue our journey in the second stage. Take a deep, silent and slow breath. First into the belly, into the rib cage. It should take time. While breathing out, make the humming sound louder, deeper, and longer, keeping your awareness and attention deep inside the forehead. Continue. As long as deep as possible. Let us move into the third stage with the nyasa. Continue breathing deep, silent, and slow, not as deep as you were doing before. What you do as you inhale, move the mind inside the right arm in the space. That space is the highway. Your breath is the car, and the mind is the driver. So when you look inside the right arm, you see the space, the emptiness, and that is your highway. That will help you to transcend the body. So either moving from the shoulder to the fingertips during inhalation or exhalation, it's your choice. And during exhalation, the mind moves from the tips of the toes inside to the shoulder. After purification of the mind, we ask the mind to go within, deep within, unfiltering. The mind becomes pure and transparent to reflect our true nature. Now do the same step inside your left arm. Breath your breathing. Why we have started breathing little deep, silent, and slow so that we are able to maintain our awareness and attention, and we can move the mind easily with the breath inside in the space. And if we don't do this, the mind will pick up any object, and that object will take the mind away from us. You see how those masters have developed and discovered these steps by deep contemplation, deep meditation. All these knowledge is revealed knowledge. That is why they don't claim the authorship, moving the mind inside the right leg. Now, from the right side of the waist to the toes, as you inhale, the mind is moving inside the right leg in the space or emptiness or darkness. Because we have been regular in this journey, so the stage one now should take less time. We'll increase the duration of the stage two to see the impact. And the stage 3 will continue as it is. We'll do it from the following weeks. Move the mind inside the left leg. Same way. Beautiful. I appreciate you all. I'm always delighted when you progress on this path. You're now moving the mind inside the spine from the crown of the head to the tailbone while inhaling or exhaling. And the mind moves, rises from the tailbone to the crown of the head. Just an awareness. We need an awareness. We see the emptiness. We are aware. We are attentive with a little deeper breath. Not a big deal. As a play and a fun, there is no step in our journey together that has to do anything with the mysticism, occultism. We both are walking the path consciously with a clarity of understanding. Today we discuss that point knowledge and value. And now leave this. We move into the stage 4, looking inside the forehead in the space. Any thought feeling enters as your experience drop Om Shanti. Superimpose. You are already aware what we need to do in Om Shanti. Om is unmanifest Shanti and Shanti is manifest Om. See, as we progress, I will change my expression. Why? To get a clarity. Now we are becoming a seeker. So Om is a symbol of unmanifest consciousness. Shanti is a manifest Om. So any thought, feeling, sensation enters into the mind, you simply, casually, with love, you drop Om Shanti. I told you before. I come to your house and you ask me, what's your name, Om Shanti? Where are you going, Om Shanti? Why you are here, Om Shanti? What you do, Om Shanti? Which car you own, Om Shanti? Do you really own car, Om Shanti? Are you married, Om Shanti? That is what happens in the mind, unwanted. Thought enters into the mind. So that mind has entered into your home with these thoughts, and your simple answer is Om Shanti, Om Shanti. No worries. Continue. These steps are devices, tools. Goal is real self, pure consciousness. You not only you see it, you experience it, you live in it. And then you realize, oh my God, I was craving, asking for love from outside. And I see the love is overflowing. Now leave that step. We'll go into the next step of Om at 4 centers. Crown of the head inside, natural movement of the mind. No, don't use any breath here. So look inside the crown of the head in the space and drop Om as if you are walking. So that is unmanifest, highest consciousness. Now the same Om becomes the wisdom inside the forehead. That is why we are dropping Om there. Now we don't see the Om or we don't talk about the unmanifest consciousness. We say wisdom, right knowledge. And we casually walk down in deep inside the heart, the center of emotion and love. Om. Oh, same Om, yes. Then we go into the belly button, the center of action. Om. And again return. Om. At the belly button, center of action. Om. Center of heart. Om. Center inside the forehead. What we normally say third eye. We discussed about it clearly. And the crown of the head. This master says that from that Om, which is a symbol of the highest consciousness, symbolically located at the crown of the head, involves as center of wisdom, as center of love, as center of action. And then our role is to evolve with these three powers to realize that these three powers come from the same Om. And how I cannot love everyone outside, one inside. Now, doing nothing, last stage, look at the breath going in and out, feel the breath going. With every breath going in and out, no change in the rate and the rhythm of the breath. Awareness of the breath going in and out, awareness of the feeling of the breath, awareness that you are not changing the rate and the rhythm of the breath. Means what? You're not looking at the wave, you're looking at the water. That is the meaning of not changing the rate and the rhythm of the breath. Continue, my friends. Doing nothing. Be in the state of doing nothing. When the mind realizes, knows, and lives in the state of doing nothing, that real self reveals itself in love and wisdom. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your awareness on the right hand, your awareness on the left hand. Lift your both the palms, place it on your eyes, open the eyes inside the palms, know your experiences, bring the hands down. I remember, just in one line I will complete it. There were hundreds of students and disciples of my master, and every disciple used to say that my master loves me more than anyone. Everyone, they used to declare. Even I used to say, no, 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 my master loves me much more than you. But we used to live into that kind of relationship, but still we compete. No, no, my master loves me more than you. Same master. Just think of it. I just remembered. How are you, David and Jerry?
Hi, sorry. Um, Very interesting. The cadence I had during the short breath was very, very, very smooth, and the
Oh,
cadence during the long breath was a little agitated because of tickleness in my not in my throat but in my mouth. But then right after that, the session where you look at the body and the when immediately when we went from the tailbone to the crown of my head, my mind just went into this vast space and my body temperature dropped, which Drill laugh at that because I'm always hot, especially this time of year.
so you might be experiencing as if you have transcended the body, a sense of bodilessness.
Uh, it was very cool. It felt very, very vast in space and
Very
cold.
vast. Yeah, very vast. That's really a deeper experience. Thank you. Wonderful. How are you, Jerry?
Good, good. It was a really nice, focused meditation, and I love the message um,
Of love.
of love, of loving from love yourself, right, and then from that place, love everything else.
Love everything. And you see that some people are not, their intellect and the mind prohibits to express that love. So, but that is experienced as a total greater vastness, as the David has felt. And some people like to express that love through their thought, speech, and action. Somebody would wants to express that love through giving. No, no, let me take care of you. Let me do this service. So there are different ways that someday we will talk. How are you, Lara? Thank you. Wonderful.
To be really honest, I struggled a lot with this meditation and the concept because I believe that we love everybody, but then I love myself, but I also love all human beings or all living beings. But I struggle with, I still struggle, or I still am confused about,
Let me simplify.
Can I ask a question though, really quick before you start? Because I was in a store the other day, and there's a guy that's not wearing his mask and holding a gun. And he said to me, because I asked, I was like, why don't you have your mask on? And he's like, well, if I have a gun, I don't have to have a mask on. And I'm still really blocked about that. I'm really, really struggling with that. And he said it was a law. And I went home and I looked it up, and it is not a law. There is some information on the web. You can Google it, but it's not true. But there's a lot of people that believe that. And so I'm struggling with that piece, because I still know that I need to love this human being. But how can I do that?
Yes. It's a beautiful question. Go a little deeper, and I give you a simple answer. Just imagine you are love. Lara is only love. Can you prevent loving anyone? You are love. So you are going to express yourself only love. Because we don't have that state of consciousness. We have not reached that state of the consciousness. Then what happens? My little ego comes. What ego says? I am different than you. First, I am different than you, then only I love you. Then I say I love everyone. Are you getting it? So there is a sense of duality, a conflict created even by the pure ego that says I love everyone. Means what? I am separate than you, even then I love you.
But if we're all one,
but when
so I believe that we're all connected.
When we are,
we can talk about this for days.
No.
I think we debate this for days.
Essentially one. There is no difference. Then I never say that I love everyone. Love is already there. As long as there is a duality, there will be a conflict in the mind. How should I do this? And I will answer that question separately. It will take. So once we are into that stage, life changes. But first we have to merge that little ego that separates me from you, replaced by love. So it does not mean that love, my master used to say, get out. Doesn't mean that he doesn't love. He is sending a message. More or less the same kind of a reply to that guy. Come on, Samir. How are you?
Sir, the upper part of my mind has become like an empty box. Means no thought is there in that, and I am doing some effort to think and tell you what was my experience. Means
That's good. Don't say. If you don't feel like that, it means total, infinite consciousness. We are absorbed. Very good. How are you, Daniel?
That was interesting meditation, because I wanted to be fully focused and fully aware, because I would like to understand what is happening to me during the meditation.
Very
so that
good.
was my exercise today, but I was still thinking about love and what you have said, that I love for the sake of my real self. So this is new to me, and I need to think more about that, because it sounds very interesting.
Yes. These are the different concepts which are not very common in the West, in the Western world. And once you apply that, I love myself. That's why I'm serving Lara. Finished. Out of love. Very good. So think of it. Tell me. Send an email. How are you, Jonathan?
Good. I had a very focused meditation today. The quick breath. Sometimes I struggle towards the end, but then at the end of it today, it was very very comfortable. And then I feel like a little bit of a hypocrite in whenever I think about meditation and I hear people talk about like a vision or an experience, I always consider that sort of experience in duality. But then today I found myself like in this space of almost like the thing with I was just sort of like looking at water, and it was just very calm, and I just was able to like stay in that space, in that area for the entire meditation. And it was, and like I was aware of things going on around me outside, but I was able to just sort of stay in that space of just looking at water and the stillness of the water. And it was very comfortable. Like by the time we ended, I didn't really want it to be over. So it was.
That is why I say younger generation must do meditation with a clarity. It should not fall into any kind of mysticism, belief, cult, dogma. The moment it falls into that, the meditation is destroyed.
Right.
It must be a conscious journey. You understand every concept. There should be a clarity. Then you practice and you experience. Wonderful experience, Jonathan. How are you, Sergey?
I'm pretty good. When we start meditating, I just hear your voice, and it's not judging inside me. It's not analyzing. It's just like coming directly through my mind. And
Good.
then start like I hear that voice just in that moment. You mean that only one? It's no second before and no second after. Just now, and then it's like going deeper, 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 deeper. Turn off. And then like a couple minutes before we're ending, just okay, I don't know why I'm hearing.
That's a beautiful way to explain that every step your mind started going deeper, 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 and mind is gone. That is what you said. Wonderful, beautiful experience. How are you, Stephen?
Good. Thank you. It was a very peaceful meditation. I always spend as we start the breathing, the rapid breathing, it's at that point I'm always reflecting on your words and what you've said. Today, when I got to the humming, I would almost say that halfway through the humming, I didn't even know what I was doing. It was just happening. And when you said the words that now let's stop the humming and continue with the deep breath, I felt this overwhelming energy starting from my crown. Just basically, best way to describe it was like flushing through my body and out. But I felt the presence still in the room that I'm in. And then as I started to go deeper and deeper into meditation, it was almost as if that energy was poking at me, like it was trying to knock me over. And so I kept going from deep meditation, feeling like I was coming out of it, and I was like, no. And then I finally settled into a very deep meditation.
Very deep. Wonderful. Such a beautiful experience. That's really good. We all are progressing, seeking. That's really good. I appreciate. How are you, Terry? In the meantime, let the Terry unmute her. Say, you guys all say that. Yeah, Terry, go ahead. And I'll break the ice, Lara, by one statement. You have to think it over again and again. Forget about all the concept. Yeah, Terry.
When I'm during the meditation, I know my experience, But then as it goes along, by the end, I would forget a lot of it because I'm letting it continue, and I'm not trying to keep remembering. So I knew what I was going to say, but then it's always gone. But I do remember one thing that I had, that I think the humming is helping me.
Yeah.
And it's getting better. And I also remember when we went inside the body, with the mind inside the body, that went really well, except I had trouble with this one leg. I don't know why. At that point, I got it backwards. Like I flipped it around and I got it backwards.
Yeah.
Confused. So it's like going well, and the little things keep happening to pull me out of it. So I just
it's again, you are progressing, and I'm so happy with you that you are progressing. And today you were totally independent. You did everything.
Yeah.
That's so wonderful. That is the power of meditation. It bypasses the limitations caused by the body. Such a beautiful